follow the conversation on Minerals Commission's own social media handles across social media platforms and connect with us via 055-5561-034. At some point, we may open the phone lines to welcome some of your thoughts and questions to Minerals Commission CEO, Mr. Martin Ayisi, who's sitting with me now. Mr. Ayisi, good morning. Welcome back.
Morning, Tema.
I'm sure you've been busy.
Very.
What can we recap about last week's list that you brought to us? We know that there's been some additions and some of the percentages have been increased for other parts of the list, going from 40 to now 50.
Tema, morning, and then good morning to viewers. I think we said the other time that most of the mines are owned by foreigners or companies that most of their shareholders are outside of this country. We're beginning to see 2-3 Ghanaians get into that space. So if the mines are owned by them, what about the billions they spend in buying goods and services, the inputs that go into mining? So we've decided that no, let us come with a list that will allow Ghanaians to participate. So as we speak, effective 1st January this year, we have 50 items on the list, comprising essentially 3 categories. Areas totally preserved for Ghanaians, areas open to practically everyone, come and do it, and then some areas where some percentages are also restricted to Ghanaians. We've checked their data. We also realized that they spend 3-4 times more than they pay in taxes and royalties to government. So if we really want mining to benefit this country, then it means that we have to make sure that the inputs that go into producing the mineral, it's also, produced here. So by and large, that is it. So like Cardinal is a big mine in Upper East region. They have started construction and development. The mine will cost us about $500 million. About 90% of that will go into inputs, goods and services before the mine will be ready sometime, hopefully by the end of next year. If we joke and we sit down, we don't do anything and come out with a list like this, all the items will be imported and we will not benefit as a nation.
So there's a deliberate, conscious effort to make sure that the billions of dollars that are spent on these goods and services from outside the country are retained in the country.
Yes, so tell me, 2019, the data shows, reported by the mining companies which we monitored, $25 million on catering. That is the kind of money they spent about 3-4 years ago on catering service at the campsite.
Getting someone to come and cook for the mine workers.
So if you don't put this on the list and ensure that it should be done by Ghanaians, they will bring people to come and cook. The Chinese will bring people to come and cook for them. And the money will go out. That is it. It's as simple as that. Fuel. That's my favorite joke. Fuel, petrol. 2019, $100 million. You want foreigners to come and set up filling station and supply fuel to mining companies. First country to get independence, Sub-Saharan Africa, 1957. Obuasi mine has been running for 127 years. We can't set up a filling station and sell fuel to a mine. What technology is involved that you have to allow foreigners to come and do that? That is why we introduced the list.
But it has also meant that the local capacity had to be built.
Yes.
And the local businessman had to be educated on the opportunities that existed within this space.
Now, let me tell you this. We are not, with all due respect, because I'm addressing 30 million plus Ghanaians, we are not stupid. By that, what I mean is that if we don't have capacity, we don't have capacity. Our job would then to come and tell our story and say, look, get into this space. There's a lot of money here. There's a lot you can do here. So build yourself, and then we'll help you do that. But where we have capacity, we don't see why we should open the place for foreigners to participate. So again, about 20 years ago, you only find 1 or 2, just one company doing contract mining. Australians used to do it for us. Okay, AMS, AUMS. And then after the collapse of apartheid in 1994, the South Africans came in. Now we have over 15 or so companies, Ghanaians, who have built capacity and they are doing contract mining. No mining company has come to complain to Minerals Commission that they are not doing the work. So engineers and planners, Rabotech, Rockshore, Ramoff, Tonke, these are all Ghanaians. They have all the machines, they are able to access money, funds, etc. and do the work. Contract mining is over $1 billion. That's how far we have come. So people are very entrepreneurial in this country. but we need to educate them and tell them how they can get in. That's why
so
we are here.
Just because a space is open for Ghanaians does not mean anyone can just get up and set up their shop at Iduapre Mines and say they're selling food to the miners. What's the procedure? Do you need a permit for some of these
Yes.
goods and services?
Let me start this way. You cannot carry out any job for a mining company in Ghana unless you are registered by the Minerals Commission. No mining company will give you any job, contract, etc., unless you are registered by the Minerals Commission. We do that for 3 reasons. One, we want to see how many people are working in the mining industry, directly and indirectly, so that when we come out and we say we have 40,000 people, 1 million people working in the mining industry, then we can tell the whole world that, but for mining, these jobs will not be created. So it helps us to capture data. That's one. Two, we also get to know how much is coming in. Okay? How much is coming in, where the money is going on, the businesses and all those things. And remember, what we've not done very well as a nation is a link between manufacturing and what we call the mining. It's well done in South Africa, even in the likes of Chile. But we are growing now, okay, like the area of fabrication and the manufacture of all those inputs. So we need to capture the data and then see how much is coming in and how that is impacting our GDP and economic development. So that's what we do. So they won't give you a job if you don't register with the Minerals Commission.
Okay, what's the process to register with them?
Now, we have categorized them into 3. We have Class A services, we have Class B services, and then we have Class C. We have a reason for that. For instance, Class B, strictly for Ghanaians. Class B, strictly for Ghanaians. So, for instance, if you want to provide catering services, they are in Class B or Category B. If you want to provide security, that is B. If you want to do haulage, for instance, get trucks and then move the manganese ore to the port for transport, for export, it has to be done by Ghanaians. So these are in Category B. Only Ghanaians can do that. Security. So over 15 or so mines across Ghana, companies have set up and then they are providing security to the mines. 3-4 years ago, South African companies were doing it. So we've taken all those people out. So if anybody wants to provide security at the mine site, you fall within this category. So that is B. Then you have Category C. Now, C is also for Ghanaians. I want to explain the categories first before we go to the requirements. Category C is also for Ghanaians. But then why are you saying that B for Ghanaians and C for Ghanaians? The C is a so-called local. That is those who are living around the mine. So, for instance, if you want to do minor repair works, plumbing, supply of toiletries, etc., those basic things, you don't expect anybody to come from the rest of Ghana and come and do it. So if you want people to supply stationery, you want to call people to do basic minor electrical works, painting, etc., why will you bring somebody from Greater Accra? Okay? So they know. In fact, almost about 50% plus of the jobs in the community, comes from the mines, wherever there are mines there. So that is the local people. If you don't come from the community, they will not give the job to you. The B is open to everybody. Then the Category A is foreigner can come in and set up. So if you want to set up and manufacture explosives, which is widely used in the mining industry, or if you want to provide contract mining underground, or carry out some engineering works, etc. So these are the 3 categories. A, to summarize, open to everyone. B, restricted to Ghanaians everywhere. And then C, those who are living within the community. So if Newmont wants to paint about 10 bungalows or 5 bungalows, or have some electrical works done, you can only come from the community. They are known, they are registered, so they always give out the information, and then they come and say, look, we're opening tender for painting works or minor repair works. Come and do it.
And
so that is it.
And getting the approval by the Minerals Commission to provide these services come with its own requirements for each of the different classes.
Yes, each category. In fact, A and B are the same. It's a C that is a bit, not difficult. I'll explain. So let's start with A and B. The requirements are the same, 10 of them. You have to meet the 10 requirements. Don't be worried about the numbers. certain things are so basic and statutory. For instance, you have to be a company. So you got to register a company. Go to Register General and register a company. Tema, whatever, Ghana Limited. Okay, you have to register a company. These days, registration is very fast. 2, 3, 5 days, within a week, they can do it for you. So you have to be a registered company. That's number one. 2, you need to get your VAT registration done. And these things are basic now. These days, we are all talking about tax, getting documentation, etc. In some countries, if you don't have these things, you can't get anything done. So number 2, get your VAT thing done, SNIT clearance, and then your tax clearance certificate. So I've mentioned 4. A company properly incorporated in Ghana, get your VAT registration done, get your SNIT, get your tax clearance certificate. So that's 4. And then, of course, you get an application form. It's like when you're looking for a job. These things are done online, so you can go online and download. So that takes it to 5. Now, what are the remaining 5? You need to give us a business plan. Fortunately, we have a template or a document that guides you as to what should go into your business plan. And then, of course, you need a bank statement. I mean, if you're going to get a $200 million contract, $50 million contract, you cannot just, it's not just for anybody fly by night or anybody holding briefcase. So you need a bank statement. And then, of course, if you are a company that's been there for a while, we want to see your audited accounts. We want to see your annual reports, how you've been doing, over the years. And then sometimes you get us a contract with a mining company or maybe a letter of intent. But if you're just getting in for the first time, of course, you just registered a company and then you got all your VAT registration certificate, tax clearance, and all those things. I'm not going to ask you for an audited account because you just got registered. So these are the same for category A and category B. So let me repeat. A company must be properly incorporated in Ghana. You get your VAT registration certificate, tax clearance, SNIT. You buy an application form, you can do it online. So that takes us to 5. We need your financial statements, audited accounts, business plan, and their annual report. And of course, what is important is an application form. So these are the requirements. So it's the same for A and B. Now, those in category C, the local people, very simple. Just a registered enterprise. And then these days, you also need a VAT registration, SNIT, and then a tax clearance certificate. I don't need a plumber to give me a business plan. I don't need that. So the local people, we don't bother them with business plan, etc. The amount of money they are supposed to pay is about 1,200 Ghana cedis the whole year. We have waived processing fee for them. They only pay the application form. So give and take, they spend barely 2,000 to get registered. It's just annual. And once you get registered, the following year you don't pay for the application fee again. You just pay your annual registration fee. Now we have been able to bend backwards to accommodate the category C people. So sometimes somebody will walk into the offices of the Minerals Commission and he will say, today is Wednesday. Newmont has just sent invitation for a tender for minor repair works, plumbing and electrical stuff. It is closing on Friday. They are saying if I don't get registered by the Minerals Commission, I cannot do the job. So this is what we do. We instituted that last year. All that we'll ask you to do is to just buy the application form and lodge it. We'll send an email to the company and say, Tema Enterprise has lodged an application with the Minerals Commission. He's allowed to bid. To the extent that even if you win the bid, we will allow you to start work before you get registered. It doesn't take that time. Because what we had was that a lot of them started complaining that by the time they'll get registered, the bid has closed, he's lost a contract, etc. So I have been able to bend backwards and this is something I instituted. That the local people, mere lodging of application is enough. Go and bid or go and start work. That's one. Sometimes some of them show up in the office and say, Goldfish has just given me a contract to do minor repair works here. I'm supposed to start next week. But they are insisting I produce the Minerals Commission registration certificate or approvals. We'll do an email for you, just lodge an application. So that is a flexibility that we've given those in category C. For B and A, that is quite heavy. I mean, you have to be a serious person to get into a $35 or $20 million contract. But again, any Ghanaian who has just been given a contract, let's say a $20 or $10 million contract.
You're open to have a discussion.
No, and he's supposed to start next week. We'll find a way by which he can start the work, because see, the mines don't wait for you. The price of gold changes practically by the hour or minutes.
Okay.
So Ghanaians have this flexibility or this room just to get on with their business.
Where can people go to? Someone is listening to you. There's a painter, there's a plumber, there's someone into supply of goods and services who's interested in this opportunity. Where can they go?
They can go to any of our district offices. They can go to any of our regional offices, or come to the head office, or just call us, or go online. We have a customer service. You can just call us. We are available. And of course, as usual, the only CEO who gives his number on air. You can also call me. We'll direct you to somebody. So walk into any of our district offices, walk into any of our regional offices, give us a call. Our customer service is very efficient. Or just walk into Minerals Commission. Those young, beautiful ladies and guys, they will attend to you. If you have any problem, just walk into my office. You don't need an appointment.
You brought us some interesting scenes from one of your rounds, and we are going to show those visuals right now on your screen. There's a lot happening here, but I want Mr. Ayisi to talk us through what we are looking at right now.
Tema, last year I came here and we were talking about responsible mining. My minister keeps mentioning responsible mining. We need to mine responsibly. By that, what it simply means is that you don't go near the water body. You don't use mercury. You must be appropriately attired and have all the necessary gadgets. So we started this government, policy of community mining. It's small scale. And we went to a place as far as Bongo. Bongo is in the Upper East region. They have a lot of gold. Typically a farming community. Now, they were illegal miners. I want to put that on record. These are illegal miners. These are Galamsey people. Then the chiefs walk into our office and say, we want to mine responsibly. So the officers went there, surveyed the place. We demarcated the place for them. And then we sent them gold catcher, two gold catchers. We sent it to them, got them registered. The license has been signed. Last week, minister went and launched it. And that is a machine that we sent to them.
That's a gold catcher.
That's a gold catcher. You can see that's the typical savannah area. So this is a gold catcher that was sent to them. And I want you to see the gold that was produced. I think there's another video. But we can complete this one and then we'll look at the next one. So this was a nugget or whatever you call it that was, picked from the place by one of the miners. Now this is underground. It's not here, so that is it. So this is the gold. Clean, no mercury, water, gold catcher, 90% plus recovery. I mean, you can see it yourself. This is Bongo Upper East region. So this is what government is all, has been talking about. So when we talk about response, you can see how clean it is. This is Bongo Upper East region. Small scale mining. They were formerly illegal miners. Government, through the Minerals Commission, has been able to regularize the operations for them. So this is the message we are propagating, and not this bottled water we are seeing it.
River Pra makes us very sad.
Yes.
Responsible mining is a big thing.
And the next community is Nangruma.
Okay.
That is Upper East region, where the vice president comes from. Sorry, Northeastern region, where the vice president comes from. We'll go there.
And it's all to regularize that.
We actually love the mining activities in the northern part of this country. One, it is not by the water body. It is hard rock, so it's kind of localized. And then a lot of them are also underground. So it is less intrusive. It does not damage the ground.
Are people free to reach you the same way if they are interested in also going legit and getting gold catches?
Just 30 minutes from our Bogatanga office. Just about 30 minutes. We have an officer, we have a whole office in Bogatanga. The officer there is even a native, he's a mining engineer. He was able to put all this together. So this is it. No mercury.
Right.
Okay.
So
you know how many gold rings or whatever you can get from me? Yes.
I have no idea.
And then the interesting stuff, Tema, this will now be sold to government.
Let me take our viewers quickly through some of the things we've learned from you. Big congratulations to Bongo people in the Upper East region for regularizing their illegal mining activities and putting to good use some of government interventions to sanitize their mining space. Today, we've been talking to Mr. Ayisi about the opportunities that exist for your local business in the mining space. He's spoken to us about Class A, B, and C categories of services offered under the published local procurement goods and services per the Minerals Commission and local content and local participation regulation. And he's told us that for category A, which is open to foreign companies and Ghanaians as well, it's capital intensive, mostly underground, and that the process is similar to those that are available for category B. So category B is strictly for Ghanaian businesses who want to get into the mining space. What do you need to benefit from these services? All information is available on the Minerals Commission's social media pages, and they're very responsive with their customer service as well. You basically need to register the company, get a VAT registration, get your SNIT in order, tax clearance certificate, and then you apply online. Submit a business plan. A template is available online for you. Make your bank statements available as well as your audited accounts. And if you have a letter of intent, it helps your purposes a lot. Now, category C, which is local, Mr. Ayisi is telling us, is to help the artisans within the immediate location of their mine. So if you're a painter, a plumber, an electronic person, and you want to offer some basic services, those are available to you as well. We are making this information available to you so you know that there are job opportunities available in there. And CEO of the Minerals Commission, Martin Ayisi, has been speaking to us about what these opportunities mean. A quick word then, Riva.
You can read the list. Look at the...
We'll put the whole list on our social media handles and then get that available for you. So category C, weeding, grassing, reshaping, cutting, trimming of hedges, mowing, fencing services, cleaning, rubbish collection, physical training. So if you are a gym trainer, gym instructor, you could do that. Provision of local security, local health education services, minor maintenance services like plumbing, electricals, like I said, supply of stationery, so you can supply paper, pens, food items, etc. All that is saved in Class C, Category C, for those within the immediate environs of the mine. So put all this information across our handles so that you can also benefit.
Let me tell you something. Even the Category C, they have an association.
Okay, so you know that there's help available.
Oh yeah, they are
in
Obuasi, they are in Takwa, and they've been calling us. We've been having meetings. It's been a while now. We intend to engage them. So they came to complain to us. They came as an association complaining that by the time they will try and get the job, the bid has closed, the tender is closed. So if we can be flexible, and then we instituted that measure that look, an application is enough for you to go and bid. So
just send your applications in, and the Minerals Commission will listen to you. CEO Martin Ayisi has been speaking to us. We'll make date again next week for another discussion with the Minerals Commission about the opportunities for you. We'll take a break. The Breakfast Show continues shortly. We'll be back.